You're getting a rebut, and I think that's coming from Atul Vasan. Yes, Atul.
No, it's not a rebut. I agree with Arun that, it's a phase manner, but I've got a silver bullet. How we can solve this problem, because every, controversy, every problem lands at the door of IPL and T20, and we are partly right. So I think if we've got quality players who we feel are going to serve India in test matches and probably one-dayers, I think we should have to keep them separate for this from this circus and compensate them well enough. Unless we do that, players will always be confused.
It's never going to happen. Come on, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Why not?
What you're saying is never going to happen.
I'm just saying,
none of those players are going to bite that silver bullet that you're offering.
I never said it's going to happen, but it's a wish list. It's a wish list. It's utopia. If it happens, I think this is the only way we can breed quality players for test cricket.
Why can't it happen? Why can't it happen? The BCCI has enough money to just go and select some players and say, we'll pay you. No. Why can't it happen? Look, it's about priorities. If the board wants IPL as your priority and announces the schedule within 2 hours of the end of a defeat, then it can't happen. It can happen if the board, makes test cricket a priority and says, okay, Zahir Khan is my priority. I'll pay him $1 million because I want to protect him for test cricket and not allow him to waste himself by playing IPL or Champions League. Of course it can happen. See Michael Clarke. He's retired from 2020 cricket. He's said no to Big Bash League here in Australia. He said, I want to be remembered as a top quality test cricketer. It's also upon the individual. It has to happen. If we do not prioritize,
come on, Boria.
The hockey way.
Come on, Boria. Come on, Boria. What about the Delhi Daredevil? What about the Chennai team? What about the Bangalore team? Will they accept it? No, it's not as easy as that.
No. Well, that's exactly, the players have to take a call. Michael Clarke took a call not to play, to save his test cricket. And look what happened today. So the players have to, get gutsy or have some integrity or conscientious that, okay, what is the future for me? I mean, making money is an easy way out. Very hard to somebody to take a call on that. Very easy to say on television, but a big decision,
No, I think that's something which is a far cry out. I don't know. But want to bring in Sanjay into this debate. Sanjay Chawuna, what we are talking about essentially is whether you can separate the teams now, because we are saying we are in a crisis situation now. Let's separate the IPL team from the Champions League team, from the one-day team, from the Test team. But Sanjay, more fundamentally, have we got too caught up in our own reputation? A false sense of superiority, forgetting that we have been thrashed by the Australian side, which was defeated by a very underrated New Zealand squad at Hobart recently.
Right. No, Arnab, to be very honest, I think all the experts, all the critics, all the analysts, everybody put together, including ex-cricketers, were absolutely arrogant before India went to Australia. And yours truly is equally guilty, I guess, to a great extent. We all said this is the best chance to beat Australia. And that's a sign of how much you underestimate your opponent. And, if you hear Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I've been following the debate, while the camera was being set up. Mahendra Singh Dhoni made a very explicit statement the other day when he said, I'm not even sure if I'm going to play the next World Cup. Now that coming from the skipper of the Indian team, just triumphed in this magnificent World Cup, is a statement about where Indian cricket stands today. And the bottom line is, as much as we get emotionally charged about personalities, everyone keeps saying that the players who are currently playing are the best, where are the replacements? But if you don't give people a chance, you will never find out how good they are. At some point, the greats like Dravid and Ganguly and Tendulkar replaced some people, got a chance and went on to make their careers. I'm not saying that you got to be brutal, you got to axe them, there should be no humiliation. But I think at the end of this Australian tour, we have to go back and introspect. There's a lot of test cricket coming up in India. And I think at home, I agree with what even Kunal said, it's a wrong time to blood youngsters in a very hostile condition. As Virat Kohli's finger incident showed, even the crowd is hugely against you. But when we come back home, it's time for some surgery.
Yeah, it's going to be time for some surgery, but these IPL owners also are going to have to get involved in all of this. Eventually the IPL has got so inextricably linked with Indian cricket, hasn't it, Meher Bose? You're going to have to take a decision because the star value of all your players is pulled out of the fact that they play for India. I mean, I'm just imagining tomorrow if Doug Bracewell, for example, who took 6 wickets against Australia recently, if he were to be playing a sort of a league match incessantly for some club or county New Zealand side, then would he have the same energy to beat the Aussies single-handedly?
Well, he wouldn't have the same motivation. as we've discussed, you get a lot more money paying for IPL. Just bowl a 4 overs, score a few runs. Look at people like Freddie Flintoff. He gives up Test cricket, he gives up cricket because he earns so much money from IPL. The point is, what has happened to Indian cricket at the Test level is that it's become a club mentality. You're a member of the club, you can't be thrown out of the club. That is what you need to break. You need to get players in who have to be told they have to perform. It matters to them. This is the national side performing. And I think that link that Sourav Ganguly brought in. Remember, Sourav Ganguly came in as captain in a crisis, and he brought that mentality in. That mentality has been completely dissipated. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I'm afraid, I believe now that apart from his performance, his leadership is so lacking that you'll have to make way and get him out of the picture, because otherwise this team will not improve. This team will not change course. It needs to change course radically.
Yeah, because it's so sad that we are living completely petrified, isn't it, Arun? No, Sanjay, we are living completely petrified. We wonder what's going to happen, because the day will come when Lakshman, Sachin and Dravid will say time is up. We are going to have to go from the team. We are petrified of that.
I think this is the time for Indian cricket. No, absolutely, Arnab. I think this is a time for Indian cricket to be seriously worried. It's not just the fact that we lost 6 test matches abroad. It's the way we lost them. It's been humiliating defeats. And the fact remains that the much famed team that everybody talks about being brilliant and outstanding on paper has consistently failed to deliver. And there's a writing on the wall. We can choose to be emotional. We can choose to be nostalgic and, ignore it. But it's going to hit us even harder in the future. And as far as the IPL is concerned, Arnab, you and I debated a lot about that, where the whole problems happen in IPL. The truth is that what IPL has created is this bifurcated cricket administration. So the BCCI now has to placate the IPL owners, which puts the players in a complete, they are completely confused, which is why today Mahendra Singh Dhoni, despite being tired and exhausted, will have to play the IPL. He has no choice. And BCCI is so well planned, they have already announced their schedule for the coming summer season.
I think, can I just give another perspective to this talk? I think we have focused too much on just batting, and I think even if the 3 retire at the same point, the sun will still rise from the east, and we'll be all right. We won't be worse off. Yes, we'll slightly lose out, but we've got the players. What about the bowling? You just lost 2 players who have taken more than 1,000 wickets in the last 1 year, Kumble and Harbhajan. Where are the bowlers? The bowling is a problem. You don't know. We are the first team in the history who've been taken for 290 plus scores in less than 6 months. Ever in the history of the game. Alistair Cook got 294 and now they're 329. So the problem lies, we've got to find bowlers to take 20 wickets. Batting will take care of itself. Believe you me.
Well, I think the bowlers are
what has happened here, if I may come in, Arnab.
And Sourav Ganguly and being defensive. And I'd like to say this channel is nowadays broadcast live all across Australia and New Zealand. And our viewers in Australia and New Zealand must be thinking that if Sourav Ganguly is watching this, he will be at the nets tomorrow to save the Indian team. He's give up the mic and he's going to pick up his bat once again. Maybe we are heading in that direction. Yes, Mihirda, Boria is voting for that actually. Boria wants Sourav Ganguly back. Come on, yes. Mihir Box.
No,
you also want Sourav Ganguly back.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I would dread the thought of seeing Sourav Ganguly back at the nets and go and play at Perth. Let's talk, if we are talking the immediate short-term picture, Perth will be worse than Sydney, believe you me. I mean, Perth will be worse than Sydney unless we do something miraculous. Because if this was a batting belter, that would be a fast track where all of these batting stars would be tested. So, God knows what's going to happen. Another whitewash perhaps.
If you want a headline, Boria, come on, Boria. If you want a headline, you should go
that's
and
a different path.
Whether
that's a different path.
Ganguly back, and he might really share a few home truths with you. You can ask him that over breakfast tomorrow, Boria. Mihirda, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, what I want to point out is that what IPL has done is created a wonderful club structure for Indian cricket. Now in England, where I live, we have a great club competition, the Premier League, and the English national team barely survives. It can't perform. And that is what Indian cricket needs to come back to a basic. How can it use the IPL and make sure that the national team does not decline? It has not looked after that. It has allowed the national team to go into the depths it has never experienced before.
Good point. Good point.
And you know, Arnav, you can
want
see
our
the
viewers to call
impact
it.
of
You think
spectator
we are the
interest.
world's most tired side?
You found that
led by
there
the
were
world's
hardly
most
any
tired
people there to
captain.
watch the matches against West Indies.
Your
and England.
call and your views,
the
we are going to
one-day
wait for it.
matches,
Wait
which
for
were
you
very
on that, and we
popular
have a
going
special show on that over the weekend. Thank you very much to all our panelists.